I was doing Chelsea TV last night, and I was listening to the boys on the way home, and it was so funny to listen to. Two of them just bickering about Spurs getting knocked out, and Dean Saunders moaning about the team selection and so on and so forth. Love to hear from Liverpool. It is the big topic. There's something has happened at Liverpool which literally fallen off a cliff. Now, no one saw this coming. I don't care who you are. No one saw this coming. However, I'm going to say that there is a caveat. I said it last season. Liverpool were not great. They were good. They were not great last season. Everyone else let the Premier League down. This season, Liverpool have got through games in the opening part. Everyone's telling me, Raw, oh, it's the sign of champions, late goal, sign of champions. No, it wasn't. That's a myth. Especially if you keep doing it. You can't keep getting away with late equaliser, late winners and getting yourself out of jail. And then they've run out of late goals. Now they're getting exposed. They get exposed badly. Yeah. Yes, they've had a lot of change. Yes, there's been a lot of disruption. Yes, there's been tragic at the club. But all things now, you've got to find a way. And Arne Slot, right now, especially the team that he picked last night, I'm not saying he held the white flag up, Raw, but it did feel a little bit like the most important game now ain't tonight.
Yeah.
It's Villa.
Yeah.
And now he's put his eggs in all of that basket and increased the pressure.
It's a worry. Do you now subscribe to the Jamie Carragher mentality that this is a crisis? I don't know if you've heard Jamie Carragher talking about this, but he has actually explicitly said it's a crisis. What I was saying is, I think the road to crisis is quite a long one. So you don't just go from champions to crisis. No. You go through a blip, then you have a slump, then it becomes ultimately a crisis.
We're right there. I think we're right there.
Do you?
I think it's probably crisis with the small C.
Little C.
Yeah. They lose against Villa at the weekend. Or even like a draw. And I said this the other week about the game where they couldn't afford to lose against Man United.
Mm.
That was a game a draw would have been a bad result.
Yeah.
I know they got their way of winning in Europe, and that's look, English clubs in Europe, we should go on and dominate, right? The majority, not every the majority, right?
Yeah.
But when they come back all of a sudden domestically, they ain't won for over a month.
I just can't believe it with Liverpool. Like, you know what you were saying at the beginning when you were talking about them and you said that they weren't great last year. I know you're right, but they ultimately dethroned Pep Guardiola. They finished above Mikel Arteta, who was the heir to the throne. Yeah. And they did it at a canter.
Yeah, I know.
They won the league by 10 points.
Yeah, but I think that says more about them than it did Liverpool. I genuinely feel that the fight, and I think Arsenal, I still think it's a dull league. I think Arsenal are a very good team. I think Arsenal better than Liverpool last season. I genuinely feel this Arsenal team is better than the Liverpool side that won it last year.
No, this Arsenal team looks flawless. Yeah. It really does. It's got all of the ingredients. If you were to say the 10 most important things to win a Premier League title, what do you need? You go, you need to be able to score goals. You need to be able to keep clean sheets. You need experience in the team. You need proven winners in the team. You need a manager who's ready to win. Like, they have all of the ingredients to win a title. But I just find it so difficult with Liverpool because last year I appreciate that it wasn't a great league. But there were moments of greatness. There were incredibly special things that Arne Slot did. For example,
I don't know if he did, Raw.
Well, Mohamed Salah last year arguably became the best he has ever become.
Yeah.
He put in his greatest season. And when you think of the player that he was in, say, 2020, to elevate past that is very impressive. Do you know what else I thought Slot did really well? He managed his way out of a problem. Over the years, Liverpool didn't get the midfield that they wanted. They didn't sign Caicedo. They didn't sign Bellingham. They didn't sign Lavia. He didn't spend any money in the midfield significantly. And they needed a new midfielder. What does he do? He goes. He takes a player that was on the periphery at Liverpool, on the periphery at Bayern, not particularly loved by anyone, and he turns Ryan Gravenberch into one of the best midfielders in his position in the world.
I thought he was overrated last year. I genuinely feel that Caicedo was better.
Were you saying this last year?
No, honestly, I felt that Arne Slot, and I'm not taking away the victory because they deserved it. There was no challenge. There was no one. And Arsenal, same rules apply. I thought it was a poor Premier League last year. I think it's a poor one this year. But Liverpool didn't care last year, and Arsenal won't care this year. I genuinely feel they'll win it. I think this Arsenal side are better and some distance better than the Liverpool team that won it last year far.
This Arsenal team is the real deal. That's the difference. This Arsenal team, they look like champions, they behave like champions, and when things smell like champions, they often are what they smell like, right? This is looking like a team that is totally capable of winning because it seems like it has a bit of everything, this Liverpool team. This Arsenal team.
Yeah, no,
it's got the defence that you need. It's got that robust quality. It's got everything that you need.
They deal with any situation. They seem to be able to deal with it. And look, I think, Jen, and this is not a dig at Liverpool, Arsenal, anyone else. I genuinely feel that the Premier League in the last 3, 4, 5 years has dipped since Klopp left. I thought the best Premier League I can remember in recent memory was when Klopp and Pep went toe-to-toe. There was something about the way that football was played. The teams now, they have to find a way to get round a low block. And I think that Pep has, in some ways, created his own problems because teams set up a low block because of how Pep plays. And they now sit deep. Our club, we struggle. Honestly, it's our kryptonite. Low block, our kryptonite. And then you've then got to come up with a solution. Well, find a solution. That's why I think the long ball's been brought in. That's why Arsenal identified set pieces.
Yeah.
Brentford have identified. They're not on Sunderland. They're identifying balls in the box from throw-ins. They're finding a way. That doesn't make for a great spectacle.
It was poor management from Slot. You know, when Slot came out and he went, we really struggled to deal with set pieces. We really struggled to deal with long throw-ins. And you're like, wait, you're playing Brentford. Why on earth are you saying this? They're managed by a former set-piece coach. They are a team that pride themselves on being efficient at set pieces. Like, Arne Slot shouldn't have done that. But I don't understand why we kind of position this as a negative. I don't know why we look at this Arsenal team. And this Arsenal team are like an incredibly glamorous and sexy crazy gang. That's what they are, right?
Yeah.
They rely on set pieces, long throws into the box, target man up front, a bullying centre forward. They are like a really good, a really efficient and a really sexy version of the crazy gang. But that's good. I don't know why. You know when people use it as a negative and they go, oh yeah, set piece FC, are you? You're like, no. That's a really complimentary thing to be called because it basically means you're going to win the league. You know, like, Gyökeres, I don't rate that Gyökeres highly, but he's perfect for them. Scoring ugly goals. You see the goal against Atletico Madrid when he basically tackles it and it ends up in the back of the net? That's the exact kind of player. They've got enough of the beauty. They've got enough of the silk. They need a battering ram forward, and now they've got one. So I think that Arsenal look complete, but I still believe, I don't know if I'm in the minority here, Liverpool look woeful. It's a terrible defence of their title so far.
It's
can
pathetic.
we count them out of it yet?
Oh, I cannot. There's got to be some turnaround in Liverpool's fortunes and Arsenal's for Liverpool to get anywhere near them. When Palace beat them for the first time and then we beat them the game after, I said, it's not a massive surprise. Liverpool fans phoning up say it's what champions do. Come on, you're blind. You're blind to what you're seeing. That's not how you win titles every week. You can't keep nicking games. You've got to win games comfortably and do it in a professional and defensively well organised. Take moments when they do. And right now, look, I've got Arsenal friends of mine, right? They don't like watching their own team, but they don't care, and nor should they. Nor should they. It's not criticism of Arsenal, but I think the Premier League, that's what I think. But who cares if you're a Gooner right now? Love to hear from Gooners. You're getting a bit of stick, not from me or not from Rory. But there's one or two out there that say you're boring, including some of my friends that are Arsenal fans. Also, Liverpool. Is it a crisis with a small blocks? Is it those little, or is it now big black capital C?